Wah. Is that your phone or mine?
My phone? I don't know. Damn, already 3-0? Yeah, just a security alert. Someone's trying to log in.
Oh,
Someone's
yeah.
trying to log in. Do we have a pin? No.
All right. Oh, so.
Oh, it says start question. You can do a poll.
Oh. Okay. Let's see.
You lost it. You moved it too much.
We move it here. Chat. Oh, we can do a poll? Right here.
Oh, I start a poll.
Start a poll.
Do you support? Yeah, the Venezuela thing. You support Trump's takedown?
Did U.S. cross the line?
With Venezuela. With Venezuela.
With Venezuela. All right, what's up? Are we live? Can you check and see if it actually worked?
Oh, just look on my phone, you mean?
Yeah, like look and see if we're...
It shows.
Or text her Rumi and see if she can go on hers and see. I know how to see.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna go there.
Yeah, live. It's live.
It's live, bitch.
Okay, now what you do? Readwise. Yeah, live.
We're live, mother.
Live.
It's live, bitch. Wow, it looks so much better.
Now what you do? Readwise.
Oh, you know why?
Yeah, live.
It's because quality. We're live, mother. Watch. That's fine.
Readwise. Yeah, live.
Yellow on this one.
We're live, mother.
It's
live, bitch. Wow, it looks so much better.
Now what you do? Readwise.
Oh, you know why?
Yeah, live.
It's because quality. We're live, mother. Watch. That's fine.
Readwise.
All right, cool. Whatever. I mean, it is
It's
what it is.
probably the saturation I have set up on here. It's fine.
It's probably the monitor too, because that monitor
That's
just
what I'm
looks
saying,
shittier
yeah.
than this monitor
Yeah.
completely.
I changed my saturation for games.
You
see certain
so you
colors
can see the
easier.
character better.
You see certain characters. Yeah, you see the head.
No, that's what I'm
sticking
saying.
out.
So it's smart.
Jeez, dude. At least be I'm a
Text all your friends, dude. Tell them
professional
we're
gamer.
live, dude. Text your friends. Tell them, dude, we're live.
You gotta wipe off his desk, dude. You're gross.
Me?
Yeah. What?
The capture of Venezuela's president is no longer just a regional crisis. It has triggered a global diplomatic confrontation. Now, China has broken its silence after U.S. forces captured Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro. Calling the move a blatant use of force, China says Washington has crossed a serious line.
Do you think they're...
China says it is deeply shocked. In a sharply...
It's loud?
No, it's okay. I don't know.
So what's loud?
It seemed like the audio or this is a little loud.
So did we cross the line?
No.
No? Let's see.
The U.S.
worded statement, Beijing condemns the U.S. military strike on Venezuela and the capture of its president.
So did we?
China's
did we cross
foreign
the line?
ministry calls the action a blatant violation of
Worded
international
statement,
law. Beijing condemns the U.S. military strike on Venezuela. Beijing accuses Washington of
But see, do you see how
hegemonic
when we moved it back
behavior,
there?
warning that the move threatens
Yeah.
peace and security across Latin America and the Caribbean. China says it firmly opposes the use of force against a sovereign state and rejects any justification offered by the United States.
All right, so I feel like you're supposed to do, because we never went live on YouTube. Are you
Yeah,
supposed
I
to do like
know.
a broadcast or some shit? Like, are you supposed to like broadcast it to everybody, or you just go on and just
go on, just do it.
Just do it. All right, whatever, dude. No.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, so where did we cross the line?
We did not cross the line. We kicked ass. We showed up.
Can I vote yes on this thing or no?
We came to show up, kick ass, and chew bubble gum. We're all out of bubble gum.
That's stupid. How do I make this mouse faster? This one?
The GPI.
All right, whatever. No, I don't think, I personally don't think that we crossed the line because...
No, we didn't cross the line.
Because, look, first of all, and I don't know if this is true, but I heard Biden put the bounty on his head to begin with. So if Biden put the bounty on his head, why are liberals getting upset that we actually went in and did the job that Biden was too scared to do? If you have the balls to put the bounty on his head, then go solve your own problem.
I'm gonna look that up. Biden puts bounty on Maduro.
Yeah, I that's what I heard. He upped the bounty like a couple times.
That's right, he did.
He raised it.
He raised it $25 million at the end of his term.
$25 million bounty.
Yeah.
So
how do you put a bounty on him? So get upset when somebody gets him.
Liberals are like,
"Oh shit,
good job, he put the bounty. Yes, let's get him." And then Trump's like,
Trump get it?
Goes in there and gets him. No one died, and they're like, "No,
I know,
you broke the law."
Yeah, that's
who was supposed to get him?
Yeah, there's no law.
We were hoping that fucking some other country was gonna do it.
What the hell is
It's
okay.
So what were they hoping for? Somebody else was gonna go capture him?
Yeah,
like.
Little crybaby liberals, man.
No matter what, they would have cried. No matter what, they would have been like, no matter what, they would have been. Someone broke the law, but go Biden for putting. They just want to support who they on paper support. That's it.
Yeah.
No matter what they do.
Is this recording too, or no? Just live, huh? You can't actually clip this.
No, but YouTube saves the live.
Okay,
it records it. Yeah.
Gotcha.
At the same time, you can do it too.
Oh yes. Yeah.
You want to try?
Yeah.
Ah,
3, 2,
1.
Woohoo! I knew we were missing something.
Where'd you go?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Still got to record.
All right. So
let's get it.
Let's watch this. Let's see what. Let's see. But we got to see. Like, there was one that was more exciting.
Yeah, there was. I mean,
right?
They got the world leaders going on. I mean,
earlier, Iran and Russia.
Let's
right here. Iran and Russia. Land the U.S.
Yeah, but watch. Hold on. Let's see. Trump captures
Maduro.
You choose which one. That's the one we're watching. The CBS? No.
Oh, here's this. Strikes on Venezuela. Maduro captured. Oh no, I wanted
Just take the keyboard.
see what these Chinamen are talking about. Red line. Oh, yeah, see, that's the one I looked up. To retaliate against Trump's Maduro abduction.
Retaliate. All right.
India. We want
India
today.
You better be careful when we swoop in and grab him
too. The U.S. airstrikes on Venezuela. China has hit out at the U.S. for blatant use of force against a sovereign nation and action against President Maduro. Beijing has said such hegemonic acts violate international law and threaten peace and security in the region. Let me take this to Edward, who continues to stay with us on the broadcast. Edward, of course, the U.S. has thought this through and through, but fact still remains that Russia, China are condemning these strikes. And while the U.S. has said that there will be no further escalation from their side, the operation is done, it is successful. But in a scenario that there is retaliation, how do you see it unfold?
Well, I mean, China has some degree of legitimacy in speaking to the United States in that way because it hasn't actually itself conducted any military operations in the world. Russia has absolutely zero legitimacy in condemning the United States in Venezuela because, of course, it's entering the fourth or fifth year of a war over in Ukraine. So there's absolutely no way that Russia should be telling the United States anything about foreign policy. How I see this unfurling is, of course, that there are great challenges now for Venezuela and for Venezuelan society. It's very, very difficult, as history shows, to recover an economy, and a society on the basis of a post-communist reconstruction. So I would say that it's probably only fitting and fair that just as the United States has planned this operation and conducted it very well, that there be some sort of support, both fiscal and political, for any government in Venezuela that replaces Maduro. And I think that the United States probably is planning to do that. And I hope that the Venezuelan people now will enter a period of democratic flourishing, frankly.
All right.
Okay, for last time ever we hit space and it stopped recording.
Oh, yeah. It'll be on the right screen.
Is that which one?
Is that the new Venezuela president already? Already swore in?
I don't know.
Sandeep, I'd like to bring.
You don't think they would have got it that fast, though, right?
I think
Imagine.
so. So someone has to. There has to be a vice president and interim president.
Yeah, I guess so.
Someone
You're right.
has to
But it's
fill that
not
shoe.
that type of government setup, is it?
Maybe, with our help.
Let's see.
You and especially to understand what the implications
yeah.
from here on will
No
be,
way.
especially given the fact that
She's so
Maduro
happy.
is
Look at her.
captured, foreign head of state to be
She's so
brought
happy.
to the US courts for trial. How might this impact international norms, given the fact that the US is constantly saying that Maduro had really unlawfully extended his term.
Possible
You kidnapped, literally, this is a word for it. You kidnapped another president and you brought him back for trial. He's of course been declared, a drug trafficker. All his close associates, including his wife, incidentally, have been, named as drug traffickers. That is one way for President Trump to bypass going to Congress. This is,
Congress.
if you can call it that, this is President Trump's own special military operation of the kind that President Putin launched in Ukraine. This is to bypass a lot of those other things of, things of going to Congress and getting approval for a normal invasion of Venezuela, or the kind that you would have to do as was done in the past with Iraq, for instance. So this kind of bypassed that, and they've made the case against Maduro, the entire operation, the blockade, the attacks on all the narco traffickers, the boats, the destruction of all the boats, where literally more than 100 people have been killed so far in the last couple of months, have all been part of this a case that has been built up against Maduro, the fact that he was running a drug cartel out of
some live news, man. Some live,
Yeah,
live
dude.
Fox.
Yeah, just type in live. It's got to be the first one. It's got to be the first. Hit live right there. What? Packers game live.
Oh, this guy is this the guy I watched last time? No.
Look at right there, down there. This bottom left one. There you go. Afghanistan. U.S. regime changes. Yeah, they're talking about every time that we intervened into anywhere.
Wait, which one? Right here?
38 watching. There's 1,000 watching this one. It must be good. Yeah.
But the US clearly did not learn its lesson, because in 2003 they went back to West Asia. This time the target was Iraq.
The Indian news broadcast.
It was called the War on Terror. The Americans went after Iraq's President Saddam Hussein. They accused him of having weapons of mass destruction. None were found eventually, but the regime was toppled. And the invasion destroyed the country and the region. There was a huge power vacuum that led to the rise of terror groups like ISIS. By some estimates, the United States attempted regime change 70 times during the Cold War. 70 times.
You're welcome.
So what does all of this show you?
That you're welcome.
That Washington has not learned its lesson.
Oh, geez.
They may have mastered
That's it?
regime change.
That's what
but
we're
the part
watching?
that comes after, they're really bad
Woman
at
is
that.
lying. It's not true. Woman is lying. It's the
Will this
chat.
time be different? I guess we'll have to wait and watch.
You'll have to wait and watch. We don't wait. We go.
Of course, today's events in Venezuela did not happen in a vacuum. They were a result of
Venezuelans
careful
are
preparation.
celebrating.
For
This is
months,
Venezuela.
the
They
US
don't have
had been
vacuums.
building up its military in the Caribbean. Warships moved into the region. Military bases that had been closed for years were brought back into use. Aircraft began flying surveillance missions. And deadly strikes were carried out on what the Americans called drug boats. All of this happened in the run-up to today's attack, before Maduro
a
was
good one.
captured and removed
You
from
like this one?
power.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Our next story takes you through the build-up, the military campaign that set the stage for today.
Before Venezuela's president Nicolas Maduro was captured today, something unusual had been unfolding around his country. For months, America was encircling Venezuela. Slowly, methodically, and piece by piece. It started at sea. American warships began appearing on the horizon. Destroyers, cruisers, amphibious assault ships, each one loaded with troops, each one carrying heavy military equipment. One by one, they took up positions in the Caribbean. Then Washington raised the stakes. Into these waters came the aircraft carrier USS Gerald R. Ford. It is the largest warship in the world. It houses thousands of troops on board and dozens of fighter jets that are ready for combat. The buildup was not limited to the sea. On land, old bases were reactivated. In Puerto Rico, the former Roosevelt Roads Naval Base was brought back into use. It had been silent for years. Now it was alive again. Runways were repaired. Taxiways were cleared, and temporary air traffic control towers were installed. Soon the skies filled with cargo planes. Massive C-17s came thundering in from U.S. bases. Their bellies were full of equipment, supplies, and personnel. Even civilian airports were transformed. Reaper drones appeared on the ground. Electronic warfare aircraft followed, and so did long-range surveillance planes. In the air, activity increased steadily. U.S. spy aircraft flew repeated missions across the Caribbean. Maritime patrol planes tracked shipping routes. And long-range bombers flew close to Venezuelan airspace, officially described as training flights. Then the operation turned deadly. From September onwards, American forces began striking boats. These were boats accused of drug trafficking. Drones hunted them down. Gunships finished them off.
So this is, let's see if we can go, stop and keep going.
Missiles streaked.
Okay. What he's talking about is like, we did this stuff for the past few months. This is December 22nd. So we've been like preparing this for a while. Obviously, he didn't just do this overnight, obviously, but
no, we've been circling them. Military operations.
Dude,
watching them closely. Did you see they turned off the fucking power in the Capitol? Just turned off the power completely.
No way, did they?
Yeah, that's what's so fucking annoying. People are gotta be stupid. They're like, how do they can't know there's drugs in those boats. If we can turn off the fucking power in the Capitol, we got the technology to see what the fuck is in that boat.
No, 100%.
Like 100%. That, people are so stupid.
Do you think that we're wasting ammo and energy on just shooting down dudes in a boat, in a banana boat, trying to get up?
Yeah, those are speedboats, by the way. You don't go fishing in a speedboat.
Across the
That's crazy.
What the world witnessed today was simply the final act. The military buildup had already written the eventual ending.
That's all we have for you on this special edition of Donald Trump has pulled the trigger. After months of build-up, after months of isolated airstrikes, the U.S. president has toppled Venezuela's Nicolas Maduro. The U.S. military captured Maduro and his wife today. They were picked up from Caracas, which is the capital of Venezuela. They will now stand trial in the United States of America. It's an attack that has sent shockwaves across Latin America. A swift but intense attack, sort of like a smash and grab. First, let's look at how the day unfolded. Explosions were heard at around 2 a.m. in Caracas.
Literally.
Soon, plumes of smoke began rising. Two main targets were hit in the Venezuelan capital. One was La Carlota, which is an airfield. The other was Fuerte Tiuna, which is the city's main military base. Take a look at this.
Fuerte Tiuna.
God, that'd be crazy shit to see.
Amor. Ay, no. Mira eso.
We don't have the official list of targets yet, but Venezuela's ally Colombia did publish a list. They say the following sites were also hit: Venezuela's parliament, the presidential palace, a nearby base with F-16 jets, and the El Atillo airport.
Yeah,
After these strikes, parts of
no one was
Caracas
gonna
plunged
follow
into
them.
darkness.
Get their guy
Videos
and
show
no one's
some of
gonna-
the
They
targets
can't
still
get-
smoldering.
They can't go get
They
around.
also show U.S. military aircraft in the air. Experts say at least a dozen
that's badass
choppers
shit.
would have been used. You can see
Look at
them
that.
swoop over Caracas. Take a look at this.
Jesus.
Da-da.
Yeah, damn. Fuck, man, that's the coolest shit.
Dude, Rome don't have shit on U.S. right now.
Yeah.
If Americans were there back then during Rome, we would have fucking toppled Rome in a couple weeks.
Now, Venezuela does have air defenses. They have the Russian S-300 systems.
Oh,
they
they got
also
the
have
Russian stuff,
shoulder-mounted
that's right. Of
projectiles.
course they do.
So how did these American aircraft get so close?
Let's be
Maybe
fucking
the
turned off
Venezuelan
power.
systems were disabled by
Yeah.
the initial American strikes. Maybe they were caught off guard. Whatever the reason, there was little resistance. The US president says one helicopter was hit but managed to fly back. Plus, some soldiers
Bro,
were injured.
I wouldn't shoot it
No
us either.
fatalities, no assets lost.
Yeah, no.
Then after a while, things went silent. No more explosions, no more low-flying helicopters.
And Maduro
In
going-
this time, we got the first reaction from Venezuela. They condemned the US military strikes. They also asked people to mobilize on the streets in protest. And still, Washington was silent. There was no official
They
word on this
celebrated.
operation
They
from the
didn't
United
protest,
States.
they
Yeah.
celebrated.
It was President Trump who broke that silence. He posted a social media message at around 4:30 a.m. Washington time. That's 5:30 a.m. in Caracas. So around 3.5 hours after the explosions, and here's what Trump wrote. I'm quoting, "The United States of America has successfully carried out a large-scale strike against Venezuela and its leader, President Nicolas Maduro, who has been, along with his wife, captured and flown out of the country. This operation was done in conjunction with U.S. law enforcement." So the United States captured Maduro and his wife, and they flew him out of Venezuela in the middle of the night. Reports say Trump greenlit this operation several days ago. First, he asked the CIA to locate Maduro. Normally, the president would live in his palace, but amid rising tensions, perhaps he was not living in the palace. Maybe he wanted to keep the United States guessing. Trump says Maduro was captured from a fortress.
Can't even keep his hat
It's
on
not
straight.
clear if this was the place or some other location. Either way, the US found out where he was. And once Maduro was located, the US Army stepped in, specifically the Delta Force. This is an elite wing of the US military. They specialize in secret high-risk operations, missions where high-value targets have to be captured or neutralized. The same Delta Force was used in 2019 as well. They neutralized then ISIS chief Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi in Syria. So the Delta Force
like a
went in.
dog.
They captured Nicolas
Guys
Maduro
like
and
a
his wife,
dog.
and they flew them out. US
Frozen.
media reports say
His wife looks like a dog. Oh, we have 2 viewers too.
Frozen.
they were dragged
Oh,
out of
we're
their
back,
bed.
back.
And President Trump was watching
Oh,
it
someone said
live.
no.
I mean, I watched
Yeah.
it literally
No, cross the
like I
line.
was
Yeah,
watching
what's up?
a
Yes,
television
yeah.
show.
No, he won't know.
And
I
if you would have
forgot our
seen the
question. Yeah,
speed,
question,
the
yeah.
violence, we watched every aspect of it.
Trump is expected to brief the media shortly. Maybe that will give us more clarity on what happened and what is the status now. Meanwhile, his vice president has
status.
also released
What
a
is the
statement.
status
This is
now?
what J.D. Vance is saying. I'm quoting again. The president offered
the
multiple
finger, that's good.
off-ramps, but was very clear throughout this process. The drug trafficking must stop and the stolen oil must be returned to the United States.
What? Stolen oil?
Now, this is
I don't
quite
know.
interesting. J.D. Vance is stating 2 objectives of the U.S. mission. First is to end the drug trade. The second is to return the so-called stolen oil. Will Maduro's capture ensure? What will the
I knew
Americans
this
do?
was an oil problem, huh?
That's the big question to watch out for. In the meantime, here's what we know. This was not a large-scale attack like Trump claimed. It appears to be targeted and limited. Illegal, yes, but limited.
Illegal, no.
And frankly, it's been brewing for a while now.
What's legal?
Maduro had been charged by a U.S. court back in 2020. He faced accusations of narco-terrorism, drug terrorism. The US also put a $25 million bounty on his capture. Of course, this was more symbolic than serious. No one expected Maduro to be arrested. But then came Donald
What the
Trump.
fuck is the point
He
of a
doubled the bounty to $50 million. He also listed some Latin American crime and drug gangs as terrorists, something that had never been done before.
You're welcome.
And by August 2025, he began building up the military. More US warships and fighter planes were moved to the Caribbean. Then in September, the action began. The US attacked what it called drug boats in the region. There were more than 30 strikes and more than 100 deaths. And amid these strikes, the United States tried to arrest Nicolas Maduro once. They attempted to bribe his pilot. This happened in October. The Americans tried to bribe Maduro's pilot. Basically, they wanted the pilot to fly Maduro into US hands. That plan did not work out. Then in late December, the US escalated again. They went from attacking boats to striking mainland Venezuela. A port allegedly linked to drugs was also hit. And days later, this operation happened. So it's been a gradual escalation by the Americans, an escalation that culminated in Nicolas Maduro's arrest. As the night ended, the impact of the strikes, the American strikes, became clear. You could see the debris spread around the military base in Caracas. But as of now,
At least you call it
no
an
casualties
arrest
have
and
been
not a
reported.
capture. You
As
just
for the
said
military
it was an
situation,
arrest.
it is
Yeah.
hard to say what's going on. There is no indication that the US soldiers are still in Venezuela.
No, of course not.
So as things stand, this is not an invasion. This was more like a smash and grab regime change attack.
Yep.
And it's something the regime is
You're
still
welcome.
trying to resist. Some of Maduro's ministers have hit the streets. They're trying to reassure their people.
From this beautiful people, I ask people to stay calm. Trust in our leadership. Trust in our military and political leaders during the situation we are facing. Calm. No one should fall into despair. No one should make things easier to our invading enemy.
History shows regime changes do
Nice.
not work.
They're sitting out
Not in
there
Latin America,
with
not in West
flip-flops
Asia,
and
not anywhere in the
AK-47s.
world. Nonetheless, this is the decision that Donald Trump has made. The question is, will Maduro's capture end his regime? Or will it somehow
What?
survive?
We'll go grab the other one. Who's
Yeah.
else? They're sitting
next?
out there in flip-flops waiting
next
for
for
Trump.
So Maduro is out. The US military has captured him and flown him out of the country. No one knows where he is at the moment. Venezuela is demanding proof of life. They want proof that President Maduro is alive.
We just
Venezuela
get
is
the photo?
also grappling with the power vacuum. With the
the
president
Nike
removed,
tracksuit?
who is in
Yeah.
charge of the
Blindfold?
country? Who takes over the reins? Trump says the US will be involved in that decision. Listen to what
Of
he
course
said.
he's alive. If he was
We
dead, we
can't
would've
take a
killed him.
chance of letting somebody else run it and just take over what Maduro left off.
Yep.
So we're making that decision now. We'll be involved in it very much.
That's gangster.
Yeah, that's pretty hard. That's dope.
So Trump says the US is calling the shots.
The
They
US
won't
does
just
call the
let
shots. We run the
anyone
world.
take over.
And if you don't know that,
But right now,
you're
there are
about
three
to.
scenarios that could play out. First, of course, is the constitutional path. Venezuela's constitution has something called Article 233. It says if the president is in absolute absence, if the president is gone, then the vice president steps in. The VP becomes the temporary leader. Right now, that person is Delcy Rodriguez, which means technically she is now in charge. The rule book says she has to call for an election within 30 days, and whoever wins that election gets a full 6-year term as president. That's what the Constitution says. But things are not so cut and dry. And for the vice president, the most pressing question right now seems to be the status of Maduro. Listen to this.
In the face of this brutal situation and in the face of this brutal attack, we have no knowledge of the whereabouts of the President Nicolas Maduro and First Lady Celia Flores. We demand from the Donald Trump government immediate proof of life for President Maduro and the First Lady.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they know that the US captured him, but they have no idea about his whereabouts or his condition. Meanwhile, Delcy Rodriguez has not taken charge yet. She's not even talked about it. Then there's Venezuela's defense minister. His name is Vladimir Padrino Lopez. He has called the US attack an invasion, and he has rejected foreign military presence in his country.
The free, independent, and sovereign Venezuela rejects with all its strength the presence of these foreign troops that have left death, pain, and destruction in their path. To re-establish order and peace, we will activate throughout all the geographical national space. With perfect popular, military, and policing fusion, we have placed in operation massive deployment of all the terrestrial, aerial, naval, river, and missile armed systems for defense.
A little late.
So are we
Yeah, right.
then looking at a military takeover in Venezuela? At this point, the military is the most armed and the most organized institution in the country. And if they believe a political transition would be chaotic, they may step in, maybe as the interim power brokers, and it wouldn't be new to this region. Latin American politics has seen many military-led transitions, sometimes short, sometimes longer than expected. But apart from Maduro's ministers and military, there's also a third player in this game, and that is the Venezuelan opposition, or whatever is left of them. The opposition is fractured, but they're all backing one candidate, Edmundo González Urrutia. They say he is the legitimate president.
Edmundo.
But Edmundo is not in Caracas right now. He is in exile in Spain. And he's not some political novice. This man is a former ambassador, a negotiator, a political figure with international support. And the opposition is rallying behind him. One of his backers is Maria Corina Machado. If the name sounds familiar, it's because she won the Nobel Peace Prize this year.
The name sounds familiar.
She's one of the biggest voices of the Venezuelan opposition.
Oh, that's who I heard.
Donald Trump likes her.
Yeah, I heard. That's
After all, she dedicated her Peace Prize to Trump. Last month, Machado was in Oslo to receive her Nobel. And she spoke to the press there. This is what she said.
I would say to all citizens of the world in this hour, and I assure you that I am very hopeful Venezuela will be free, and we will turn a country into a beacon of hope and opportunity of democracy. And we will welcome not only the Venezuelans that have been forced to flee, but citizens from all over the world that will find a refuge, as Venezuela used to be decades ago.
Machado also said
Venezuela used to be
that
like
she
the
and
richest
her
country in Latin
movement
America.
were preparing for a transition.
I know it's a beautiful country.
They believed that the Maduro regime was in danger, and they were preparing for what was coming next. She also confirmed something else, that González offered her the role of vice president in a future civilian government. So if he takes over as president, if González takes over as president, Machado could be the vice president. Now, we don't know if that agreement still stands, but that's what she said last month. Now, let's assume that the opposition does take over. They take charge of the country, and the police and the military support them. The opposition, in fact, claims that this will happen and that the security forces will switch sides. If that happens, the current regime may not even make it to the elections. Senior officials could either resign or leave the country even before a vote takes place. There are a lot of ifs and a lot of uncertainty, and that's where Venezuela is right now. The attacks and the arrest have created a vacuum. It's not clear who will fill it. So this is not the end of the crisis, this is just the beginning of it.
What's it for oil?
Donald Trump is ending his first year in office with a war. His campaign promise was to avoid foreign conflicts. But he's done the very opposite. The question is why? Why did Trump carry out this attack? And why on Venezuela? Why does this country matter? The short answer is oil. Venezuela has a lot of oil. But the Americans, of course, are telling a different story. Trump has been fixated with Venezuela for a while now. He says it's about drug trafficking. It's about stopping illegal migration. But if there was any doubt about the real intentions, this operation has cleared it. Venezuela is a country on the northern coast of South America. It has vast natural resources, especially oil. Venezuela has the largest proven oil reserves in the world. The largest proven oil reserves in the world. We are talking an estimated 303 billion barrels of oil. That's more than Saudi Arabia and more than the United States. But there is a catch. Much of this oil is heavy crude. It is harder to extract and more expensive to refine, which is why Venezuela's current output is far below potential. And this leaves room for expansion and interest from global powers like the United States. They are interested. But for years, the Americans have been shut out of Venezuela. They imposed sanctions on the Maduro regime, so Venezuela under Maduro turned to other players, to countries like China, Russia, and Iran. In the absence of America, these countries stepped in with money, equipment, and deals. And China in particular became a major player. This has bothered President Trump because Venezuela is not just another country, Venezuela is a country in Latin America. This is Washington's own backyard. Nicolas Maduro understood the stakes. In October 2025, pressure from the United States started building, so Maduro sent an offer to Washington. His officials proposed a sweeping deal. Venezuela would give American firms, quote-unquote, dominant stakes in its oil and mineral sectors. That's what they offered. This included both existing and future projects. They promised preferential contracts to American companies. Effectively, Maduro's pitch to Trump was this, that China would be out and America would be in. And what did he want in return? Relief for his country. He wanted an end to the sanctions. But the Trump administration walked away from the negotiations. They kept adding to the pressure.
I like this, bro.
Then Maduro repeated his offer.
Like
as recently as 2 days ago, he made the same offer again. This is what he said in an interview on New Year's Day.
The U.S. government knows that because we have said it a lot to their interlocutors, that if they want to speak seriously about an agreement to battle drug trafficking, we are ready to do that. If they want Venezuela's oil, Venezuela is ready to accept U.S. investments like those of Chevron, when, where, and how they want to make them.
But Trump was still not convinced. Apparently, Donald Trump did not want Nicolas Maduro to be a part of the solution. Donald Trump did not want an economic reform. He wanted a political reset. He wanted a regime change. And there was someone else who was making the same pitch. Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado, the woman who won the Nobel Peace Prize this year, we just told you about her. She has made an offer to President Trump. She has promised a complete overhaul of Venezuela's economy, privatization of Venezuela's energy sector, and the opening up of oil and gas reserves to outsiders. Machado says her plan could unlock $1.7 trillion in value.
Why is that bad?
Was it this pitch that swayed Trump?
This bitch.
Hard to say. But today's operation does fit an old pattern. Just like how the US invaded Iraq and Libya, installed unstable governments and left chaos in its wake, today Venezuela finds itself in a similar situation. The US may have removed its leader, but its military and institutions are still intact. In a power vacuum, there will be no profits to chase. Also, how will today's attack impact the oil market? In the short term, the impact won't be much because Venezuela exports around 800,000 barrels of oil a day. That's less than 1% of the world's consumption. But in the long term, an unstable Venezuela will hurt the energy markets. And we've seen this before. When the US invaded Iraq in 2003, oil production stopped for months. And it took years for the supplies to normalize. They did not return to normal until 2011. And the same thing happened in Libya. Its leader, Muammar Gaddafi, was overthrown in 2011. Production never fully recovered after that. In 2024, Libya pumped 30% less oil than it did before the war.
But we're just talking
and
about
Venezuela's system is already crippled. If it remains unstable for a long period, it would take even longer to fix supplies.
Can you pause this?
Yeah.
Can you go back?
Bum, bum, bum.
Can you play back or does it skip?
Something like this.
So the thing is, we're focused on like one small piece of the benefit or the consequence. Like, let's talk about the benefit, right?
Yeah, it's going to reap benefit. I mean, she's going back and forth. They really want to paint a bad picture here.
Yeah, well, she's wearing.
But you're also she's giving information on both sides.
She's wearing blue.
Yeah, and so, but the $1.7 trillion potential deal, I mean, it's only going to benefit Venezuela. That means you're going to have other countries, which is what we're doing with tariffs, to come and invest into your country.
Yeah.
Once that money is there, then it'll circulate in that country.
Yeah.
That's how that works. That's why it's so important for us. Why Americans want to keep the dollar here, spend here. It'll circulate through here. But that's the whole point.
But the problem is this: like every time we see when a government monopolizes the resources, it does negative things. Like, we haven't 200 years of fucking proof. Once you privatize everything, the best thing you can do for poor people is create more opportunities. Not
private sector.
Give all the government the decision to give them free meals. That doesn't help. Maybe if it was a room full of 20 people, but when you have fucking 1 million people, that doesn't work. We know that. When you can't do that. You have to give it open. Bless you. You have to open it up for competition and sell things, and that's just the only way it's going to work. But
call for restraint. You call for restraint? A sitting president was captured in the middle of the night. I think we are long past restraint. Imagine if Russia had done this to Ukraine's President Zelensky, attacked bases at night, swooped in with the helicopters, arrested Zelensky and his wife, and flown them back to Russia. How would the European Union have responded? Would they have still called for restraint, or would they have condemned it? This is the double standard I was talking about. Trump's other ally, the United Kingdom, is distancing itself from the attack. The UK has overseas territories in the Caribbean, but Prime Minister Keir Starmer has categorically denied any role.
Hours before his
I
capture,
want
any
to
special
establish
envoy.
facts first. I want to speak to President Trump. I want to speak to allies. As I say, I can be absolutely clear that we were not involved in that.
Of course you
and as you know, I always say and believe we should all uphold international law. But I think at this stage, fast-moving situation, let's establish the facts and take it from there.
we're ending communism. You're welcome.
Such a vague statement to make. All should uphold international law. It may make for a good speech at an MUN, a Model United Nations.
Yeah.
But this is the real world, so be specific.
It's the real
Who
world.
violated international
Exactly.
law? Who kidnapped a president and who carried out unilateral air strikes?
We did.
Yep.
It certainly wasn't Venezuela. The fact is, this is complete moral bankruptcy. With what face will the West now ask China to stay away from Taiwan or Russia to end the war in Ukraine?
This is
Forget
showing the
a
world
moral
right now,
high
dude.
ground. They don't
This
have
is what
any
happens when you fuck
ground
with
left
us,
to
dude.
stand on.
Because what's going to happen right now?
Even
China's
within
going to
the
watch
region,
this.
the sentiment
We're
is
going to
divided.
snatch him up in his chones
Some
and
Latin
chopsticks,
American
dude. You
leaders
better
have
watch
welcomed
out.
Trump's intervention, like Argentina's President
Look at
Javier
they're dancing
Milei.
in the fucking
He's calling
street
it
every time we
a
help them.
moment of liberation.
Yep.
But most others have condemned it.
loves Trump.
Mexico
I
is
love this
calling
guy.
it a
Yeah.
violation of the United Nations Charter. Brazil says it's the first step towards violence and lawlessness. Chile has opposed any foreign interference, and Cuba is calling it a criminal attack.
Do something about it.
Now, just to be clear, no one here is calling Maduro a good guy, because he was not.
That's right.
Nicolas Maduro rigged elections, he crushed dissent, his allies looted public resources, and his policies left the people impoverished.
You're welcome.
So among Venezuelans, there
You're
is
welcome.
relief.
Yep.
We saw celebrations by the Venezuelan diaspora in the region.
Look.
There you go. Look at that.
Okay, I like this girl a little bit more.
He's showing all sides. Let's say lips hard?
Libertad, this is freedom.
But Venezuela's problems do not justify a U.S. military intervention. They do not justify bombing a
Yes, they do,
capital
yeah.
and kidnapping a president and his wife.
What else were we
Certainly
gonna
not
do?
without global
Yeah.
support
Ask
or
him to
approval.
come.
Yeah.
In America's eyes, Maduro was an illegal president, but in international law, he was a head of state. By capturing him, the US has once again ripped apart the rules-based order. They have proven a long-standing theory in geopolitics that might makes you right.
What'd she say?
As world reactions continue to pour in, let me also tell you the story of who Nicolas Maduro is. Maduro has been Venezuela's president since 2013, but his story did not begin in a palace. It began in a working-class family.
Lucky
His
you're
father
13,
was
he
a
got
trade
out.
union leader.
Yes.
Maduro himself worked as a bus driver in Caracas. In the early 1990s, Maduro was drawn to a radical soldier-turned-politician. His name was Hugo Chavez. Chavez was a former army officer. In 1992, he tried to overthrow Venezuela's government. It was a failed coup. Chavez landed in prison. But his defiance also made him a national hero, especially among the poor Venezuelans. They were angry at the growing corruption. They were disappointed with the political elite. And Nicolas Maduro was one of them. He campaigned for the release of Hugo Chavez. That happened in 1994. Chavez was out of jail, and in 1998, he became president. With his rise, Maduro moved into the heart of power. First, he became a lawmaker, then he became the foreign minister of the country, and eventually he became the successor to Hugo Chavez. In 2013, when Chavez died, Maduro rose to the top. He won a tight and contested election, and that was the start of his presidency. But what followed was an economic catastrophe. Hyperinflation reached record levels, food and medicines became scarce, and millions of Venezuelans fled the country. Between 2014 and 2021, Venezuela's GDP shrank by at least 3/4. Maduro's rule also brought in political unrest. Protests erupted against his government in 2014 and 2017.
They still
But
do
security
that?
forces cracked down hard on the protesters.
Dude, we need to do that.
Rights groups have accused his government of unlawful arrests, torture, and extrajudicial killings. Maduro, of course, has denied all these allegations, but in recent years, his election has become a significant flashpoint in the country. The opposition accused him of rigging votes and silencing rivals. In 2024, his re-election as president was rejected, not only by Venezuela's opposition, but also by international observers.
You're welcome.
Maduro says he won the election fairly, but his critics, led by the United States, say he did not. For years, Washington has not recognized Maduro as Venezuela's legitimate president.
He's got a communist
Instead,
mustache.
it has been turning up the pressure. The U.S. imposed sanctions on Venezuelan oil, its financial systems, and on top officials of the Maduro government. In 2020, a U.S. court in New York indicted Maduro, and some of these charges were severe. Maduro was accused of narco-terrorism, of cocaine trafficking, and of conspiring with armed groups. Washington accused him of leading a so-called cartel of the Suns. In fact, the U.S. even put a price on his capture, $50 million. That was the bounty. That was the price for any information leading to his capture. Now, of course, the U.S. has captured him. The question is, what happens next? We do not wish to speculate, but we can turn to history for clues. In 1989, the U.S. captured Panama's strongman, Manuel Noriega. He was arrested during the U.S. invasion of Panama. We'll tell you more about that in a bit. He was flown from Panama to Miami in the United States, and then he was tried in a U.S. court, where he was convicted and sentenced to decades in prison. Maduro could face the same. The U.S. has already announced drug and terrorism charges against him. His 2020 indictment in New York is also in effect. Those charges carry a possible life sentence. Washington says Maduro will face trial on American soil. The verdict would determine the fate of not just Nicolas Maduro, but also Washington's ties with Latin America.
Jail a president.
You probably put him in like the... What's the one they put all the terrorists in? The
Guantanamo Bay?
Like something like that. Well, they put Chapo in the maximum security in Colorado.
Oh yeah,
and it's like isolated.
I guess it'd be,
it's desolate. Like there's like miles and miles of mountains and forest around it, so you can't dig a tunnel under and escape, because he will escape. Chapo's already escaped like 3 times out of prison.
Not in America.
No, that's why they bring him to America, is you won't escape. We have like the most sophisticated prison. It's horrible, but I mean, you're not getting out.
And unprecedented.
Actually, no. The worst is the black dolphin in Russia. Have you seen that one?
The U.S.
They
struck
literally
Venezuela with
put you
full
through
force.
like 3 different jail cells to get
Caracas
to your cell.
lit up
They
like a
blindfold
battlefield.
you and spin you around in circles and make you
Its
walk with your
skyline,
head down.
shrouded
Like
in
it's
smoke
horrible.
and
Like no
fire.
one's ever escaped.
Ay, no.
And its people stunned.
Mira eso.
What does that mean?
Eyewitnesses saw the American operation unfold before their very eyes.
I live here in Chacao, and approximately an hour and a half ago, we felt planes flying and explosions. Several explosions, at least 8 or 10. And now I went out to look around. Now all you see is smoke, smelling like creolin.
Creolin?
Smells like crayons.
One of the casualties
Crayola,
was
yeah.
Port of La Guaira. This is Venezuela's main maritime gateway, just north of Caracas. These pictures were captured by an eyewitness moments after the U.S. airstrike hit. More footage emerged within minutes. Explosions ripped through an airbase too.
He literally asked
right
for it.
inside Caracas.
Yeah, I know.
Experts
Literally,
were
he
quick
said,
to
"Come on, bring it on."
confirm. The U.S. didn't even spare military installations. And this was not any remote outpost. This was the heart of the capital.
Look, I would love to see
and
the,
it was
the
under
live
attack.
feed on the Delta forces. That
It was
went
a
in.
story too big for Venezuelan state
That'd be
television
cool.
to ignore.
I'd pay to see that in the theater.
They began broadcasting an official statement. It confirmed explosions had rocked Caracas. And 3 other states, Miranda, Aragua, and La
This is their
Guaira,
9/11, dude.
it called the U.S. strikes. Military
It's some pretty
aggression.
Big event. I don't know, man.
It's their 9/11.
Today,
Their
more
new
than ever,
Independence Day.
President
Yeah.
Nicolas Maduro is loyal to the Constitution to protect his people. The Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela
January
rejects,
3rd, right?
condemns, and denounces before the international community the grave military aggression perpetrated by the current government of the United States of America.
President Nicolas Maduro had declared a national emergency. He called on his allies to mobilize. Across the capital, residents were already awake. Some stood on rooftops, others filmed from balconies. Venezuela's interior minister took to the streets. Diosdado Cabello is one of Maduro's top allies. Flanked by soldiers, he gave a statement.
Yeah, he's in
His message was clear: remain calm. He urged the public not to panic and trust the leadership of Maduro.
After evaluating the damages caused by the
His
criminal
helmet's
and
on
terrorist
backwards.
attack against our people, our patriotic ground, electric facilities, the Bolivarian Revolution, and even those who aren't related to the Bolivarian Revolution. It's an attack against Venezuela, the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. In the end, after these attacks, we will win. Long live the homeland.
Yeah, that's the point, is to help you win.
They're not going to win.
By then, it was already too late. Within hours, President Donald Trump confirmed it. Nicolas Maduro and his wife had been captured. They were taken out of the country. The operation was
Took his
swift,
wife, though, dude. That's
executed in a
They left the
matter of
chick there.
hours, but its impact may last far longer,
Yeah. They're like,
with
grab
the
her too.
potential to reshape the region.
Just by talking shit. Just by like, leave him alone. He's like, grab her too.
Well, they probably
On
killed everyone
December
in the fucking palace,
31st,
too.
President Donald Trump
Can't leave
hosted
her
a
there
New
with all
Year's
the parties
party.
she could do.
His Mar-a-Lago club was all decked up. A
shit, their
host of
pants probably
powerful
played
people
dead.
turned up to welcome 2026. Of course, Trump was the main event. As he arrived, journalists asked him a simple question. What is your resolution for 2026? Listen to his response.
Mr. President, do you have a New Year's resolution?
I have.
Let's hear it.
Peace on earth.
He said, peace on earth. And it wasn't surprising at all. Trump is the self-proclaimed president of peace. Even in his first term, that was a pitch that Trump would end America's endless wars, that he would stop foreign interventions.
Yep.
This is a leader who openly lobbied to win the Nobel Peace Prize. And when he did not, he complained about it. At his inauguration, the peace pitch was front and center. Trump said it would be his proudest legacy.
I want that.
We will measure our
wall.
success not only
That
by the
coin?
battles we win,
Right.
but also by the wars that we end, and perhaps most importantly, the wars we never get into.
They never started a war.
My proudest legacy will be that of a peacemaker and unifier. That's what I want to be, a peacemaker and a unifier.
Peacemaker.
I love how he does that.
Look at his actions.
I love it.
Trump has carried out more than 600 airstrikes in 1 year. Look at his predecessor, Joe Biden. 555 strikes across 4 years. Trump has carried out 600 strikes in less than a year, in fact.
Yeah, because you gotta.
In total, Donald Trump has attacked 7 countries in his second
can't just
term.
ask him.
The first strike was on Somalia. The U.S. bombed an alleged ISIS target in February in Somalia.
What's wrong with
the
that?
second attack was on Iraq in the month of March. Again, the target was an ISIS asset. Then from March to May, Trump focused on Yemen. He tried to force the Houthi group to end their attacks in the Red Sea. Most experts agree that this American
Peace.
campaign
Yeah,
was
we're
a
making
disaster.
peace.
They were attacking our
The U.S.
boats.
lost multiple fighter jets
The
at
Houthi
sea,
rebels were
and their
attacking our
strikes ended
boats.
up killing
This is
more
why.
than
This is why I
100
think we're not
civilians.
ready for a woman
Then
president.
came the
I'm
big
sorry to
attack
say it
in
out loud,
June.
because they're gonna be like,
The
please,
U.S.
will you
dropped
please
bunker
not do
buster
this?
bombs on Iran's nuclear sites. They claimed success without offering proof. In December, Trump
underground.
launched attacks on Syria. These were in response to the killing of some U.S. soldiers. Towards the end of December, he struck Nigeria. Again, the target was alleged ISIS assets. But the attack had a religious undertone to it. Trump had recently spoken about a Christian genocide in Nigeria, a claim that was disputed both by experts and the Nigerian government. And yet, the US launched this attack on Christmas Day, which was a clear religious message. And finally, you have Venezuela. So to sum it up, 7 countries attacked in 11 months of Trump's presidency. What does this say about Donald Trump's tactics? He keeps talking about peace through strength. It's a slogan that was coined by former US President Ronald Reagan. But his idea was different. Reagan believed that if you wanted peace, you must be strong, so strong that your enemies would hesitate to attack you.
Yeah.
Yep.
But Trump's
the real world.
interpretation
What
is
the hell,
different.
dude? What do we think
He
this
sees
is?
strength as coercion, not just military, but economic
What do
too.
we think we're gonna do? We're just gonna
consider
ask
what he
for
did
peace?
during the
You gotta get
Israel-Iran
peace.
war. Trump dropped tons of bunker-buster bombs on Iran.
Yeah.
He basically
Yeah, it's like-
escalated to de-escalate.
It's killing terrorists.
In that case,
Yeah,
Iran
that's
was
gonna bring
already
peace.
depleted
That's
after
gonna
12
bring
days of
peace.
war, so they agreed to a ceasefire.
Come on.
In Southeast Asia, Trump used economic coercion. He threatened to impose steep tariffs on Thailand and Cambodia. So both countries agreed to end the fighting. Now you may think, what's wrong with that? As long as the fighting ends, isn't that good?
Good.
Well,
Yes,
that's the
good.
thing. Coercive peacemaking does not deliver long-term results. Look at what happened between Thailand and Cambodia. They resumed fighting within weeks. Look at what's happening between Israel and Iran. Israeli leaders are warning Iran of a Venezuela-like attack, a smash and grab on the top leadership. This is not peace.
Damn, that'd be crazy.
This
if
is a
that
nervous
Iran, huh?
calm.
Iran?
And that's what Donald Trump
Took
needs
them
to
out.
understand. If you want peace, you
want
must
peace.
address underlying causes. You cannot bomb or tariff your way to peace.
Sure you can. I guess we'll find out.
While Trump's record of attacks is stark, it's also in line with American history.
You can switch this
After
one.
all, this is what US presidents do. Regime change. They've been in this business for a long, long time.
All right.
Ask Iran. They got a taste of it way back in 1950.
Sheesh.
All right.
Damn, man.
You were watching Knight's Tale?
Yeah. I was watching
I
Knight's
love
Tale.
that
I
movie.
love that movie. I put it on at work.
Oh yeah,
Well,
nice.
because I was the controlling the TV at the office. so
Yeah, I
was
watched
like,
that
"Oh,
one
put
with
it
the
on at
lady
work."
too.
In the Venezuelan capital.
Her again. She's
One
everywhere,
was
dude.
La
She's
Carlota,
everywhere.
which is an air.
Kiana? No.
Pouring rain, damn.
Pouring, dude. It's pouring rain out here, dude. Ah, man. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't know what to
Shit.
say about it. It's like,
Madeline Rivera is live in Washington with the very latest. Good morning, Maddie.
Good morning. This operation took months of planning and rehearsal with intel
Hey, you want it?
members tracking Maduro's movements
all right, guys.
down
well,
to what he
what do you
ate,
think,
what
man?
he
I don't
wore,
know.
his
I don't even know what to
pets.
say.
And the U.S. says that preparation paid off.